Welcome to the Mind Fossa. We present to you Evenflowin with Mike Knuth, featuring guest Erica Rhodes. Thank you for listening and enjoying.
All right, so ready? 3, 2, 5, 7, 1. All right, everyone, this is Erica Rhodes. Thank you so much for coming out now. So now it's Rhodes, but it's with an H, so it's Rhodes.
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 R-H-O-D-E-S.
R-H-O-D-S. So you're just Rhodes.
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 That's it.
So
yeah.
Erica's the best. She's our stand-up for this weekend of the first weekend in May. So you had so much fun last night, I heard, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. Lots of different people came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, give me some.
So there was a group of ladies who were really sweet, and they were in their 50s. They were celebrating. Two of them were twins, and they were celebrating their 50th birthday.
Very cool.
So they were very cool. And then there were some rowdy people, but we managed them.
Rowdy Batavia people?
Yeah, some rowdy, I couldn't really tell. They kept saying they were heckling, but I didn't even really hear heckles. I just heard, encouragement. There was one guy shouting out compliments. Like I said how old I was, and he's like, "You're still beautiful." I'm like, I don't think that's a heckle. That's just a nice...
No, that's a compliment.
Compliment, yeah. So they were just nice people, and yeah, but very, very diverse. It was a diverse group.
All right, so you open the door with heckling, because
Yeah.
I'm not a comedian. I host a live band karaoke, stupid shit, but I'm not a comedian. I've actually tried my 5 minutes and failed miserably and sweated from every orifice, but I couldn't even
I could see you doing comedy. You'd be good at it.
I tried. It's the timing is just so hard for me. It just,
really?
Yeah, with music, I sing, music makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But standing up there and everybody in the audience is waiting for the next word that comes off your lips. Where
Yeah.
music, they know the beats coming. They know the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. They know it. But with a
True.
comedian, some comedians, you specifically, are awesome at it. Because you kind of go, you're not you kind of go on the third, if you know what I mean. Your timing's a little different. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but
No, it is, because you catch people on their guard. You know?
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm still figuring out my voice. I still kind of change it up a lot.
What do you mean?
Well, especially if it's a smaller crowd, I tend to get more casual with my delivery. I'm not so on the punchlines. I tend to, draw it out a little longer.
Now, do you do that ahead of time, or do you do that on stage?
I do that on stage. It's an instinctual thing. I almost want to make it feel more like a conversation than a performance, or, I'm talking at them. I want to talk to them. I want them to come to me more.
Oh, now is that something you learned, or is that something you just figured out?
I think it's just something I do naturally when it's an intimate crowd.
How long have you been doing stand-up right now?
10 years.
Oh,
about
so
10
you
years.
did the magical 10-year now.
I know. I'm at a weird point where everyone's like, "Oh, that's the time when you start to figure it out."
Your community puberty.
Yeah, it feels like that. It's an exciting time because it's when you feel like you're on the cusp of either having a breakthrough or a breakdown at all times. You're either gonna totally quit and give up comedy and go live on a farm, or you're gonna figure it out.
A breakthrough or a breakdown. That sounds like a song.
Yeah.
So so you're from Cali, but you've been touring all around. What's one of your favorite cities you like to join and hang out and do comedy at?
I don't know. There's so many good places. I like Seattle a lot.
Oh,
I actually like going to Utah a lot.
Utah's beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and the
beautiful.
clubs are really good. Wise Guys, I do a lot.
Wise Guys.
I like going to Minneapolis. I like doing Acme. I like Chicago and coming here, obviously.
Well, Chicago's
this
awesome.
isn't really Chicago, but it's close enough.
See, the weird thing about Chicago is once again, I told Naeem this too. Chicago's weird because it's not New York land or LA land or Atlanta land. Chicago land is a weird thing because even though Chicago, all the suburbs are so close. Batavia, if people if I go somewhere, if I go to California or whatever, I say I'm from Chicago, even though I'm from Oswego.
Right.
But
that's the same with Boston. I'm from Boston, but I'm from Newton, which is 20 minutes outside of Boston.
Where's Newton at?
It's just I think it's a little west of Boston.
Are you on the water?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know Boston. I've been there. I love Boston. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Now, is that where you started your comedy in Boston?
I wish, but no.
Where'd you start your comedy?
I started in LA.
Oh, you did? So when did you move to LA then?
I've been there 17 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're really a Californian then, aren't you?
I am. At this point, I think I'm a local, I think so.
Well, isn't everybody from California not from California?
Yeah, most people aren't. When you meet someone from LA, you're like, really?
Yeah.
You've been here this whole time?
You actually were born in LA.
Yeah. They're actually more grounded, though, than people who
Ooh.
come. You know, they're just like, oh, yeah, this is what it's always been like.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's well, you know, one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite songwriters is a guy from Killers, Brandon Flowers. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You know him?
Killers.
Dude, I love him. But he's actually Vegas born. Like he was actually Vegas born, which is another city that like is
No one's from.
No one's from. So
Yeah.
so in a lot of his art and a lot of his music, he actually talks about that, like being born in Samstown and stuff like that. Like it's unique. So I could get that. I could totally get that. But now
Were you born here?
I was. I am
Yeah.
an Illinois. I'm an Illinoisan.
Ah,
I'm
Illinoising.
Yeah, Illinoisan.
No, you're not annoying.
Well,
I
after a
just
couple
wanted
of
to
these,
make a bad pun.
after a couple of these, maybe. So anyway, so you went there, did the whole, and did you go there for comedy? Did you go to California for comedy, or did you just fall into it?
No, I did acting for a while. I started with acting, and then
Really, actors don't go to California. What is that all about? How'd that go?
it was okay. I just wasn't really like having any breakthroughs with it, so I got frustrated, and I was like, I need another outlet. So then I started doing comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you're reading scripts, and you said, "Fuck this! I'm just going to go on a stage and just start talking."
I just had bad auditions, and yeah, then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, a quote unquote failed actress turned into an awesome comedian.
Yeah, much better, I think, at comedy because it's my own creation. Like, I like making things on my own, you know?
Keep talking. What else do you do?
I do some writing. I've been starting to write, like, short stories and blogs and things like that. And I like writing a lot.
Now, your short stories, are they funny short stories or scary or like what are they?
They're usually kind of serious, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, they might have some comedy sprinkled in, but it's not all comedic.
Little maybe dark comedy.
Yeah, I think dark comedy is my genre of choice.
Really?
Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to read them. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
look it up.
you'll have to.
You'll have to send them to me. You have to send them to me because I do. I'm a dark comedy guy too. I like that a lot.
And
yeah.
they're pretty personal, you know, like about my life and things like that.
Really? Are do you send them out? Like, can anybody read them, or
Yeah.
you just blog it?
Yeah, they're just online.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
When did you start doing that?
I kind of started during the pandemic, actually. I said the first story I wrote was called On Coffee and Men, actually. And it was all about how I could sort of like these guys I dated, I sort of read their language with how they served coffee.
What? Explain. Okay, now, this is Venus Mars shit right here. Explain to me.
Well, it was just like all the relationships I just boiled down to how they served coffee. So like one guy I dated, we would always have coffee together, and he made it exactly how I liked it, you know, and it was perfect. But then one day I sort of spilled some coffee on his bed, and he like freaked out at me and got really mad, and I was like really scared. And so, you know, it was kind of like little things like that. Or there was another guy who like I would see once a year because we had sort of a friends with benefits thing, but he never had cream. So every time I went over, I'd be like, you know, do you have any cream for the coffee? Because I don't like it black. And he'd always be like, no, you know, I don't have it. And a whole year would go by, and I'd think, oh, now he might have it. No, never has it.
And all you wanted was little goddamn cream.
Yeah, little cream. I mean, we're friends, but it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, these little tiny things. Or one time a guy I was dating, you know, brought me some coffee, and then he was like, he liked putting, what is that spice in it?
Nutmeg?
Not nutmeg, the kind that's like a... Turmeric? Yeah, turmeric. Thanks. I never know how to pronounce it, whether it's turmeric or turmeric.
Turmeric.
Anyway, so he liked putting turmeric in it, and I liked it sometimes, but that morning I was like, oh, can you not put turmeric in mine? And he still did, and so I was kind of like, oh, that shows, you know, he just doesn't really listen, or he's going to do it his way, not my way.
God damn it. We're breaking this down right now.
It's
I like
little things, like the way someone brings you a drink seems like such a little thing.
But it is important.
And then I got some haters who read it who were like, why don't you make your own coffee?
Oh,
you know,
Jesus.
you
They
brat.
didn't get the
and I'm
fucking
like,
point.
I do make my own coffee, but I'm at their place. They, you know.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
It's the little fucking things in life, right?
It is little things.
It is. It really is.
I think it's little things in relationships too.
Absolutely.
You know, that like, it's also those red flags. Like in the beginning, if someone's not listening to you about a little thing, they probably won't listen to you about big things either.
Oh, fucking amen, Erica. God damn it. This is going to turn into a relationship episode, but that's okay.
No, I don't mean to do it.
No, but like the craziest thing in my life, like I obviously I've been in relationships. I know you have too, whatever.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing in my life was when I saw Bruce Willis one time. Bruce Willis was on an interview, right?
Yeah.
And this was back in the day, and the interviewer actually was a good interviewer because he asked a question that turned him. He asked a question. He said, "So what happened to you and Demi Moore?" And it was about like Die Hard 4 or whatever. He didn't expect that question to come about. And he said it most poetically, and to this day I quote it all the time. He says, love is like a rose garden in the backyard, right? And he says, every day you got to get out there and pick the weeds. You got to pick the weeds because every day and water the flowers. Because if not, one day you're going to wake up and you don't have a rose garden. You just got a fucking garden of weeds. And that's exactly, but it's the same thing with the coffee. It's like all you had to do was buy you fucking cream. All you had to do was go pick a weed. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do to make you happy. You know how hard it is to buy fucking cream. But then again, men are selfish pigs, and I'm one of them. So. Yeah.
Or they don't, that person doesn't want a relationship with me, you know?
That's true.
And so but it shows in their behavior.
Yeah.
And so then you just have to listen to that and not say, well, maybe one day he'll have cream. No. He's telling you you're not getting cream here.
You're not the cream girl.
You're not the cream girl. What you want here.
You're not the cream girl. God damn, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, well now I'm definitely gonna read your blog now.
Yeah, I mean that one is the first one I did, and so that one really took off because people really connected to it. You know, people really related, whether they were married for 50 years and they were like, my husband always brings me coffee in bed, you know, or people who are like, oh my God, I've been there with the bad relationships, you know. So
why is it that like how important, because I'm a bartender too, and like
so you know.
Oh, I know. If I remember, like if I can remember somebody's drink that came in.
Oh, it's such a huge thing, right?
Dude, why is that so goddamn important to remember a drink? Maybe because it's it's important to us. You know what I mean? It's something that we.
Yeah, well, it shows that you're paying attention to them. You know, the attention's not on you; it's on them, and it also makes them feel important. You know, people. I think everybody wants to feel important at the end of the day. They want to feel like, oh my gosh, they remembered something about me. You know? Yeah. It's validating. Everybody wants to feel validated and like they exist.
Especially if you're in a relationship.
Oh yeah, relationship.
Yeah, especially if you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it! Now I'm gonna worry every time I buy a girl coffee. I got anxiety at coffee buying now. I got coffee anxiety.
Well, you got me coffee.
I did. Did we do a good job?
Great job. This is a great
Tristan.
coffee. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Tristan.
I mean, it was the girl of the group
of course.
who did the good job.
I guarantee she remembered to do it right. All right. So anyway, so what I always like to do is I'm very curious, especially like with some of the comedians I've been podcasting. I'm very curious to see who influenced you, both comedians and not comedians. So like, give me like a comedian that influenced you to step up and do this, and somebody that just influenced you to keep going with your career, your awesome career.
Man, there have been a lot of influences. I started on a radio show called A Prairie Home Companion.
Okay, tell me more about this.
With Garrison Keillor.
Shout out.
And so he did a big show on NPR called A Prairie Home Companion for 40 years. So
wow, okay.
That's how I got my start.
That's how you got your start?
Yeah.
And he was like one of your teachers?
Yeah, I mean, he was like a mentor to me. He's also my uncle. He married my aunt.
Oh,
so,
very cool.
Yeah. But
so he was the one that kind of taught you radio and how to...
Yeah, I mean, it was live radio, so they were live shows, and then eventually he had me writing my own skits and stuff. So I didn't realize it was stand-up at first, but then later I looked back and I thought, wow, he really gave me my first shot at stand-up.
Really? Was he a comedian?
He's a writer. No, he is a comedian.
Does he do like this kind of comedy or
just you got to look him up if you don't know who he is.
I got to look him up.
Yeah.
I got to look him up. I don't know who he is, I swear.
Yeah,
I don't know who
no,
he is.
it's okay.
Yeah.
He's big in the Midwest. Usually people know.
All right, Maddie, we eventually Maddie...
You guys know?
I know he is.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I suck. Hey, Maddie.
It's okay.
Maddie, what we got to do is one day we got to get that little pocket window here where we have like...
Where you can look it up?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, so I can see.
But you'll look him up and you'll remember maybe.
I'll remember him.
But anyway, he did a show for a very long time, and I got to act with Meryl Streep and Martin Sheen on it, and some
No
big
shit.
actors.
All right, so I'm totally out of the loop, by the way, guys. You're gonna have to
It's
show me a
okay.
picture.
It's an older. I mean, it's not an older show. It was around for a long time.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
he's sort of retired now, but he still writes and he still does some shows.
So you hung out with Meryl Streep and stuff?
Yeah, a little bit.
How was that?
It was cool. I played her daughter in a skit.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
she
cool.
was really nice.
Really? That's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, she's a awesome actress.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like the best.
Like the best. Like literally the goat. She's the goat when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. You get to work with her. God damn, you got a good little life going on, don't you?
Well, I'm still not super famous, but you know, I've had some experiences.
Well, I will tell you right now, everybody that has seen you here loves you. By the way.
Really?
Oh my God.
That's so nice.
Huge. Everybody's been raving about you.
Really?
Yeah, I unfortunately couldn't come to your show last night because I had to do another work thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody just loves you and raves about you.
Really?
And
That
I can't
makes
wait.
me feel good.
know.
Well, this club is you guys are doing everything right. So, like, I hope you'll keep,
right,
going
give
for
her-
the next
Maddie, give her-
200 years.
Give her $100, Maddie. Give her $100.
No, it's a really good club. It's like, it has that homey feel. And a lot of clubs don't have that where you guys really care about all the details. Like, I think that's what people overlook is how important those little details are. Like, the sound is so good. Like, the sound is great. You guys have great security. You guys have a great stage, great setup. Like, all the little things you think,
The little things.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well, yeah, again.
So we brought you
again,
cream.
the-
So we
did.
brought you cream.
Well, also Liz was like, "Do you want anything for the green room?" And like, she had everything set up. And no, you guys have gone above and beyond. It's been really nice.
Thank
I'm not
you.
just like pandering and sucking up. I'm like, I'm genuinely grateful because sometimes the road is hard. And sometimes you go to clubs where they really care, and sometimes you go to clubs where they barely, do anything. And so the ones that really care really stand out.
Well, thank you. You're giving me kind of like
Goosebumps?
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you.
No.
So you say the road, and I love that because I am not a road. I own businesses, so
Yeah.
I'm locked down to paying taxes in the state, and I can never leave here. But like, so you say road, and I love that. So tell me, like how long are you on the road? How on an average year? Like how long are you on the road?
I've been on the road a lot, but I've never done like a full-on tour where I go out, like I don't go out and do a big tour.
Okay.
I kind of go out and then go back to LA.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of like, I'm still getting my sea legs with the road. I mean, I've been headlining for a couple of years regularly.
Yeah.
And I'd say I'm out almost every weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a grinder too?
Yeah, I'm a grinder.
Oh, no shit. Every
Yeah.
weekend you're
Almost every weekend.
So you fly thousands of miles all the time?
Yeah.
You have you
I
have your
think-
wings?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, good for you.
Hopefully I'll, learn how to be better at getting my miles. It took me a while to sign up for everything.
Yeah, because
everyone's like, "Why haven't you signed?" I'm like, "They're like, you're losing all these points," and I'm like, "I don't know. I'm bad at stuff."
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
real bad at that too. They're like, all you have to do is push the button on your phone and you can get the app and then you can get.
Yeah,
But
I know. Some people are so good at that. Like Doug Stanhope, I opened for him, and he
Shout out
was.
to Doug.
Yeah, I love Doug, but he was flying me out somewhere, and he was like, "Oh, this is really fun." Like he loved booking it. Like, and he flew me first class from LA to Boston, which was really nice. But he's like, "Oh yeah, I love working the system," and he was getting a thrill out of it, like it was a game. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that, Like my manager books my flights for me because I stopped. Like I was so bad at doing it.
Yeah.
So he's been doing it.
He's been doing it for you. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
Well,
really nice.
Doug is like an old school comedian. He's been doing comedy.
I know.
He's been doing it for a while.
He's in the rhythm of doing it.
Did you? So you opened for him?
I opened for him once in Boston.
How much fun was that?
It was really fun.
He's a good dude.
He's awesome. Yeah, he was really nice to me.
That's I love to
Yeah,
hear that.
yeah.
Because I think once again he's one of the guys that grinded like I don't want to say old comedian because I don't want to put him in that class, but
No,
there
but-
is a there's
And he's a
big guy.
Boston guy.
And
you
he's
know?
a Boston
So,
guy. That's right.
yeah.
That's awesome. Now, do you still have any of the Boston connections? Do you still hang out with those comedians? Is that still
I mean,
a circle?
there's so many Boston comics I'm always running into.
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah.
There's because I know Chicago has its thing, LA has its
Yeah.
thing. I know for a fact because I talked to a comedian I had on Niam that talked about DC has a huge. DC
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a huge, which I didn't think
They
about.
have 2 clubs that I've worked.
They have 2 clubs. Did you like
Yeah.
those? That
Yeah,
was
they're
fun?
great.
Yeah.
Really great.
I wouldn't even thought that Washington D.C. had a big comedy club.
I know. I actually wouldn't think they would have a big scene there.
Not even me.
but
Not me either.
That's interesting.
I know, I
But
was
actually,
surprised.
if I think about it, the comics that opened for me were very solid there.
They were solid?
Yeah, they were really good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's another city. All right, so have you ever done any out of the country?
Yeah, I did a couple military tours where I went out of the country.
Ooh, how was that?
That was interesting.
Like Iraq or something, or
No,
what?
not like that. I
Okay.
went to what was the first one? Like Guam and Kwajalein, which is one of the Marshall Islands.
Okay.
And then I've been to Poland and yeah, all over the place.
God damn it. You've been a real grinder, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so, I would love to go to Poland. Was that awesome? or what?
Poland was kind of crazy. It's big. It's a big country.
It's a big country.
Warsaw's gorgeous. I went to
Warsaw?
Warsaw, which I loved. But we were doing all these military bases, so we would drive for like 6 hours, and there'd just be nothing but fields, like kind of like our Midwest, you know?
Okay.
That was what Poland looked like a little bit.
Really? And then everybody was super cool to you over there? Did you like it over there? Or was it weird?
I mean, I won't lie that I did 2 military tours. The first one was really great when we went to Kwajalein, Guam, and we did some Alaska. And then Poland was a little bit tough because of all the travel, lots of travel. But it was fun.
That's, God damn, you live a good life already. I like it.
I remember I did one show that was out in a garage. It was because they would set up these military shows in weird places. So one was like in a parking lot, and they set up like a stage that was like a flatbed truck basically. And we were on that, and we were doing like comedy in this parking lot for the military. And they were just like sitting outside in the sun, and the sun hadn't set yet, so we're doing like daytime parking lot shows. And so when the pandemic happened and I was doing parking lot shows, I was like, I've been here before. I've done this.
Yeah, but you can't get any. How do you hear the laughs? How do you hear the
Well,
laughs?
there's a sound system and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still, like, it seems weird in the parking lot.
It's not the easiest thing.
No.
But I had already done it, so I was like, oh yeah, I've already done this.
So during the pandemic, you did some parking lot shows?
Well, I did my special as in a parking lot.
All right, well, tell us about your special.
It's called La Vie en Rhodes.
Okay.
And it's on Amazon. And I did it at the Rose Bowl. And it was for Cars, which was crazy. It wasn't supposed to be like that. I was supposed to be in New York in like a normal venue.
Oh, so in other words, you were set up to record in New York in a normal venue, and you changed it all the way to go and do it in the outside with cars and shit like that?
Yeah, because of the pandemic.
Wow.
It was either that or like wait, till the pandemic ended, which we didn't know at the time when it would end.
Yeah.
So I sort of made a judgment call to just do it. And I mean, it was a little crazy because it was my first hour special.
It was your first hour special?
Yeah.
All right, what's it called again?
It's called La Vie en Rhodes.
La Vie en Rhodes, okay.
You know, like La Vie en Rose, the Edith Piaf song?
No, I don't.
It's a French song. It's in a lot of movies and stuff. It's kind of like overplayed.
Okay.
It's like da 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 da.
Oh, yes.
Da-da-da.
Of course I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
So-
I didn't know the
so-
name of it, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's called La Vie en Rose. So I did a play on words and did La Vie en Rhodes, my last name.
Ah,
Yeah.
look how clever you
It's
is.
like the life of Rhodes.
Oh, Roads.
Roads. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That. God damn, you awesome. I gotta see the special now. Obviously, like I'm learning all this stuff right now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because you didn't do any research.
I didn't do any research. No, God, no. I do zero research. I don't do any research with any of my podcasts. I go up here and talk shit.
No, it's better that way anyway.
Yeah, I know.
It's better when you don't have prepared.
Yeah. Well, it's because what I want to do is I want to learn how you guys do things. I don't want to
Right.
go in there and be like, I watched every one of your specials.
No,
and,
you don't want.
No, I want to learn.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, no. But although I think you're fucking hilarious, so I'm gonna watch
Aw,
this. So
thanks.
yeah. All right. So now one of the questions I always ask is
Yeah.
I always ask is like, okay, so if I wiped your memory, and you could take 3 of your favorite musical artists with you, okay, on this island, okay, you can only take 3. All right.
Musical artists?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who inspired you? What musical artist inspired you? The reason I ask that is because I have a musical club and I love music.
Yeah, I mean, I love music. I was a cello major in college.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah? Do you still play it?
Yeah, I still play a little, but just on my own.
On your fun? You go out with friends and jam?
Nah.
No.
Not really a jammer. I was a classically trained cellist.
Beethoven was classically trained. He jammed. Okay. So don't give me that.
That's true. I could jam.
Yeah.
I actually did play in a band in LA for a bit. Like
Oh.
I worked at this pot shop And
talking.
there was this guy that I worked with who had a little band, and so he recruited me to play cello with his band. And we did for a while. I was like, "Oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in a band and play cello." But it was so boring because I'd play these whole notes, for like an hour, just like da, 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 while he's jamming away. And then at the end of the concert, everyone would come up to me and they'd be like, "You sounded so good," and I just knew no one could hear me because they couldn't hear me over the guitar. But it was just they liked the idea of a cellist,
So they just gave you.
So they would just be like, no, but they like really thought they could hear me. They were so impressed, and I was like, first of all, I'm playing whole notes. This is not impressive music, and second of all, I know you can't hear me.
They just liked a pretty girl playing cello.
Yeah, it was just like a cool,
Yeah.
So that ended, but it was fun. It was a fun chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you did that. So in other words, you tried the acting, you tried the cello playing.
Oh yeah, I've done every performance kind of thing.
Now, do you do improv too sometimes?
I did a little bit of Groundlings. Like I did the beginning stuff at Groundlings, and I had some improv training.
Okay.
But it's not really my thing.
Some people are awesome in improv, and some people just.
I'm just not like a group person. It's very group oriented.
It
It's
is.
very much about the group. And I always feel like a group improv troupe is only as good as their weakest member. Yeah. So anytime I watch improv, I get frustrated because I'm like, there's one really good one, and then there's always one that's like the dud, and you can't ever get to the heights without
Yeah, you're right.
everyone being on the same level.
You're right. That's why like laughing and shit was so good because they were
so
all
good,
They were all on the same level.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
true.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny you say that. I never really thought about the weakest link thing. Although that's everything in life, right? Football teams, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm not like a team person.
Right.
I'm kind of a solo. Like I'm a loner at heart. And that's why I like stand-up, because it's like you can do it alone, you travel alone. Like, I don't actually mind being alone. I like that.
Dude, and I give you guys nothing but mad credit. You guys that grind and go from city to city and just put your 45 minutes up here and kill it.
Yeah.
I love it. It makes me so happy. That's one thing that's the opposite. So the opposite is that, like, I don't get to leave. Like, I'm handcuffed to this building because we got to pay taxes, right?
Right.
But I get to see awesome people like you come in and do your shit.
Yeah,
right? And I get to live through you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
I get to have kind of little, because I don't go to, and I don't get to travel. So like when a person from Boston or Cali comes here, they give us that little flavor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or somebody from DC or whatever. It's fun. It's and especially the crowd, because our Batavia crowd is very, very white.
Yeah.
And we're very homies here. We love what we hang here. We're here, and we love the area. We love the Chicagoland area, and we stay here. And the people travel. We do get people coming from Wisconsin and Illinois and Indiana. And we do get some travelers that come in. It's really nice, especially for a lot of our great comedians. But like at the same point, it's great because you guys come in and you guys give us the spice, like something different. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's real fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's real fun.
So what are your musicians that you would bring to the island?
Oh, it's Beatles, Pearl Jam, and Gaga.
Ah, interesting.
Yep. Yeah. It took me a long time
I
to figure it
like
out.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, Gaga's the best.
Yeah.
Triple threat. Writes her music.
Yeah.
Does her choreography. Sings it.
Yeah.
Triple threat.
Yeah.
Like who? I don't know if there's. See, the problem with like the argument with Madonna is that she's amazing, but she only wrote like 5 songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and she can dance, and she was Madonna, but Gaga's just the next level.
Yeah, she's really talented.
You love her too?
I like her, yeah. I don't know if I would take her to the island, but I like her a lot.
Who are you taking to the island?
That's just such a hard question.
I know, that's why it's a good one.
I don't know how I could answer it.
I know.
I like Neil Young a lot.
Love Neil Young.
And I like Leonard Cohen, but I would kind of, I don't know if I could.
Really?
I kind of like those brooding guys.
So are you
the old brooding men?
Yeah, that goes with your the coffee statement.
Yeah.
So Leonard Cohen, Leonard Cohen's a great songwriter.
Yeah, he is a good songwriter.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley made his Hallelujah super famous.
Yeah. Who do you think's better, Neil Young or Leonard Cohen?
Neil.
Neil. Okay, I'll take Neil.
You take Neil?
I'll take Neil.
I mean, Neil, look, here's the deal about Neil.
Yeah.
Neil was so fucking ridiculous. So, like, okay, so what happened was at Kent State back in the 70s, like in the early 70s, late 60s, Kent State, what happened was they did a protest, right? And some college kids in Ohio, Kent State in Ohio, and they did some protest, right? And we sent in the National Guard, I think Nixon did, sent in the National Guard, and unfortunately, the National Guard, our own military, shot like killed like 6 college students.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just remember that? 2 days later, Neil Young writes Ohio, which is...
Oh, yeah, I knew this. Yeah.
Like that right there is... I put Neil on a... He's... Like, he literally wrote one of the coolest songs ever on a serious topic that he'd be saying, and he did it in like a day. You know what I mean?
He must have been really inspired
or drugged up.
Or, yeah.
So, I do love how you love Neil.
Who else do I pick? Like, also, do I pick a classical person or no?
You can. You mean, you can't go wrong with Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, forever you're going to be happy.
I mean... But I don't, if I'm very honest, I don't actually listen to a lot of classical music, even though
What do you jam to?
Well, I don't jam.
Oh, that's right. You're Neil Young.
I like Bach. I mean, Bach's great.
Okay.
I would play Bach.
You play Bach?
But I don't know if I would. What I mean is, like, if I'm choosing 3 artists, I don't think I would choose a classical one for whatever reason. Because I would just be like, they're just gonna bum me out all the time.
That's what I said. That's why you have to. That's why I think you need a pop artist.
I kind of like Radiohead a lot.
Oh, Radiohead's great.
Yeah,
Radiohead's
maybe
great.
Radiohead would be cool to have on an island.
Radiohead would be great to have an island.
All right, I'll take Radiohead.
You got them. They're
Radiohead,
yours.
Neil Young. Because I like I need diversity.
That's what I got,
I can't
too.
just have 3 of the same types.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be mad if I had to live on an island with Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and the Who. But those are all British invasion guys. I want to.
Right.
You want to separate it a little bit.
I know. I'm trying to feel like I feel like I should think of a woman that I like. Feel the pressure, the feminist pressure to think of. I mean, I like Amy Winehouse.
Oh, God bless her for sure.
But she also didn't get to write a lot of songs, so we'd be stuck kind of with the same. I mean, she only wrote.
She died young.
I mean, she did write a lot, but not enough to like.
I think she was another 27 Club too. Died at 27.
Too young.
Way too young. Ugh. Brutal.
I'm thinking of also. I really like 60s, like oldies type music.
Keep talking.
Well, you already took the. Yeah, I don't know if I would take the Beatles.
You a Beach Boys fan?
I do like the Beach Boys. It's not a bad call.
And when I was growing up, my family was like, for some reason, it was like, you either like the Beatles or the Beach Boys. So we chose the Beatles. And then I got to college, and I was like, the fucking Beach Boys are awesome.
They're really good. And I love that 60s type music.
Yep.
But I also like Rolling Stones. Maybe I should take them.
I got to bring this up real quick. So there's this new TV show called Ted Lasso. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Have you watched any of it?
I watched some of it.
Dude, they do a lot of Rolling Stones covers.
Really?
At the perfect time.
Really?
I love the show. I think it's great. But they have there's definitely a Rolling Stone theme behind it, behind it, and I love it. They do a real good job at doing it.
Okay, I'll just take them to make it easy. Rolling Stones, Radiohead.
And Neil Young.
I
love it.
But there's no women. I'm terrible. I'm the worst.
You're the worst feminist ever.
I gotta think of a woman
Janis?
that I really love. Oh, I like Janis Joplin.
She's the best. 27 Club again.
Okay, we could take Janis Joplin.
I would take Janis too. If it wasn't
She's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And she's got soul, She's got like that kind of raw soul. My computer actually has a quote of hers on my screensaver.
Talk to me.
It is, you are what you settle for.
Ooh, is that dark and good?
Isn't that good?
Oh, that's so
the
dark
quote
and
on my.
good.
That's on my computer screensaver.
You are what you settle for.
You are what you settle for.
All right, now I got to think about that one. I thought you are what you eat, but that's not dark.
No, you are what you settle for. Isn't that a great line?
Ugh,
It's a great line.
It hurts my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going back and thinking about how many times I settled.
Thinking of every time we settle.
Yeah, every time we fucking settle. Oh God, it makes me ill.
I know, but that's but also you could look at it as that's who you were. You can always it's hopeful. It's like just because you were that person who settled for something then doesn't mean you're still settling for that now.
Right.
So now you can. That also talks about rebirth. Like you can be a new person based on what you settle for.
Right. God damn it, Erica. You're making me I gotta read a Bible after we're done with this. You're making me feel like my soul's. Well, that reminds me because I watched this Douglas Murray guy on a podcast. He talked about resentment, and it was the most amazing thing because he goes, if somebody has resentment, so if you know somebody has resentment or you yourself has resentment, he says the best thing you can do for that person is to turn around and say, you know what, you're right. And actually, it wasn't him; it was Niche that said this. But he goes, it's you are 100% right. you are resentful and you are envious, and that's your fault. That's nobody else's fault.
Yeah.
Like what you're resentful for, that if you're resentful because Tom Brady's got 7 rings on his finger, he didn't do that to you.
No.
That's your fault that you're resentful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that kind of goes in the same philosophy where it's
Well,
like,
I think resentment is so much targeted at another person, and anytime it's about someone else, you're actually just deflecting from your own life and your own responsibility and
amen.
all of that.
Amen.
So,
And that's what he
yeah.
says. You tell that person that you're right, you're resentful because it's your fault. And nobody that's resentful ever wants to hear that. And anybody that like is jealous or has resent for somebody else, they don't want to look in that mirror.
Well, that's what they also say about, forgiveness. You forgive another person for it's for yourself. Self-preservation is all about forgiveness.
Right. And that is the essence of the foundation of like art and music. You know what I mean? And even comedy too. That's the one fucking thing that I absolutely love about you goddamn comedians. Like you guys get together in a room and you guys have been through the ringers. I'm talking about like you guys have all had a show where you got bombed.
Yeah, that's what I think about like the whole cancel culture thing with like canceling comics. I'm kind of like, go cancel other people. Comics already hate themselves. Like you don't have to punish comics, like comedy is a punishment unto itself. It's like someone slapping themselves in their own face, and then you're like, we're gonna also slap you. You're like, no, they've already got this. Like they're doing it to themselves. This profession is masochism,
It's masochism. I mean, literally, you want a room full of people to laugh at you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for people to be like, oh, someone can't work as a comic is like being like, someone can't torture themselves, like let them torture themselves. It's enough of a punishment,
So that's what it comes down to. So in
Yeah.
other words, when you guys get in a room together, it's literally just a bunch of people that are abused that just talk.
They're already abusing themselves.
Oh, that's hilarious. That
Yeah.
is great. I love that. That's hilarious. That's funny. I never thought about it like that.
I know. I don't understand cancel culture for that reason. I mean, I'm like, yeah, go do it to other rich people.
Well, Naeem, the last comedian I had was the funniest guy ever because I asked him about cancel because I asked him about jokes he doesn't want to use. He's like, fuck no, cancel me because if you cancel me, that gives me more press and I want more.
That's what I was just saying on stage yesterday. I was like, I want to be canceled. I want to be more controversial, and nothing I say is ever controversial. People look at me and they're like, oh, she's so sweet. And I'm like, I've got to get edgier. Got to get,
Well, your Anne Frank joke earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
See, I've got it in me.
That one's not allowed to be on camera.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good timing.
I was proud of myself for that one. Because when I said one person, I had no idea I had any, that wasn't me trying to set myself up.
No.
This is an inside joke that no one's going to get.
They're not going to get. But anyway, she made a joke about Anne Frank, which you should not make a joke about, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, thank you.
We can't repeat it right now because we'll get canceled.
Maybe
but
we
maybe that's
should.
maybe
That's the whole
yeah.
point. Repeat it.
No. We ruined the timing. Damn it.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll come back around. Maybe we'll come back around.
Now people are gonna be like, what is it? And then you'll have to come see me in a club, and maybe I'll do it on stage.
There you go.
Maybe I won't. Maybe I will.
There you go. Come see her. Come see Erica in Batavia.
Come see me almost do an Anne Frank joke.
Yeah, almost. Almost figure it out. It's a flirt. You hang out the carrot. You always got to hang out the carrot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. So where you go? So what's your story now? You're still touring after this place. You're going. Where are you going?
Well, where am I going? I just put out my new dates for the month.
Okay, so look it up.
Going to Seattle next weekend.
You said you love Seattle.
Wax,
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been going to that club for a while. They're one of the first clubs that ever headlined me.
Nice.
Very nice couple that owns it.
Shout out to Laughs.
Yep. And where am I after that? Then I think I'm at one of the improvs in LA or outside of LA. I think Irvine Improv. I'm opening for Greg Fitzsimmons, and then Brea Improv. I'm opening for Ian Bagg.
Oh.
And then
nice.
and then I'm headlining one night at Irvine June 1st.
Very
Irvine
cool.
Improv. And then I'm doing my next album at Acme Comedy Club June 15th.
Acme's in where again?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Okay, cool.
And that'll be my second album. And to be honest, I don't know that I'm ready yet, but hopefully by the time I do it, I will be.
Well, I'll send you some cream for your sugar or for your coffee. Okay.
Oh, thank
All
you.
right, yeah, so you can get it done. So no, that's awesome. All right, so now I'm gonna ask some stupid questions because it's fun. Are
Yeah.
you a science fiction dork at all by any chance?
No.
No, you're not a science fiction.
Sorry,
dork?
no.
All right, so just anyway, I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Okay.
So like, if I built a time machine, who would you like to go back in time and talk to? Who it could be
My dad.
Shut up. That's the
Yeah.
greatest answer ever.
Yeah,
That
he
literally
died
you
a
won-
year and a half ago, so
you-
I'd like to talk to him again.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
make
cry
me
too.
Yeah, you're cry. Oh, you win the answer. We're done. We don't even go any further than that. Shout out to your dad's ghost.
Yeah.
Love him. Yeah. Mine too.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
yours
so,
too?
Yeah.
I like to talk to both of our fathers.
Yeah.
What was your dad's name?
My dad was Jerry.
Jerry.
What
My
was your-
dad's Dean.
Dean.
Yeah.
And so
Dean and
did-
Jerry.
Dean and Jerry. They should make ice cream.
Yeah.
And did your dad come to your clubs? Did he follow
He
you?
did get to see me. He had MS, so he was in a wheelchair a long time, so he didn't get to like travel much.
Okay.
He almost never left the house, but he did come to see me at Laugh in Boston,
Oh, very
and he
cool.
came. I think he saw me twice perform.
Very
So
cool.
that was cool. Yeah,
Ah.
he was very proud. He was a very funny guy. So he loved that I did comedy, and he always wanted to ask me everything about it. So,
So there's your inspiration. Your dad.
yeah.
Your dad.
Yeah, yeah, actually, good point.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of my dad earlier?
Because you don't think.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I talk about my dad a lot on stage, so sometimes I'm like, oh, it's too much about my dad. It's like, and also my blogs, I blog about my dad. I was very close with him.
That's
so,
awesome. No,
Yeah,
that's
I miss him
wonderful.
a lot.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
God, you literally once again got me again. I don't want to tear on like a stage.
I know. I'm trying not to cry too.
I know. That was like you didn't even spit like take time travel to see my dad like boom like it was
Yeah.
like so that's awesome. All right, well then I'll change the subject because we're gonna tear up here. I'll totally change.
When
the
did
subject.
your dad pass away, though?
About 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my dad was a great man. I loved him. He's a great guy, but he was one of those Americans that like to eat a lot of food,
Oh,
and that's what took him down. Yeah. He was one of those guys that just liked to eat a lot, and it took him down, and it just is what it is. You know, it just is what it is. And but the best part about my father, though, is that like I built the Evenflow up the street. I told you about the music venue,
Yeah.
you know, and when he retired, he was there every single day.
Oh my gosh.
He was so happy.
That's so nice because that means that he's part of the place now. Isn't that special?
It was super special. It really made it. It really made it.
Yeah,
for me.
because and it will continue to because his presence the place will remind you of him all the time.
And the funny thing is, people still talk about him. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's pretty cute because he was always there. He was like a
fixture of the place.
100%. That's a great way to say it. Fixture is 100% way to play it. Yeah.
See, he's still there then.
Yep. And I know your dad is for you. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. All right. So let's get on Dad. 'Cause we're gonna go all this way.
Yeah, go see my dad.
Go see my dad. Yeah. No. So when you write, when you write your stuff, are you writing? Or do you write it down, or do you just memorize it, or are you do you get notes, or how's your?
Yeah, I am very disorganized. I'm trying to work on that because I think I have so many jokes that I just forget. You know, because I have notebooks. I love handwriting things. I really believe that it's more creative to go from your brain to your hand than the computer thing. Like it feels like a separation with the computer.
Okay.
So I always handwrite a lot. So I write notes in my notebook, and then I write notes on my phone when I just think of an idea, and then I'll eventually put it in my computer. Like
So when you're on the plane and you see something funny, you just write it. You write it down. Or
yeah, I
something?
usually write it in my notebook on the plane.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But I often, this is wrong, but I often think, oh, if it's funny, I'll remember it. And that's not always the case. You know, I forget a lot, I think. But
do you? So you come up with a good Anne Frank joke and then you forget it.
Yeah, then I forget it. Or I'll try it once on stage, and if it doesn't quite work, I kind of like let it go. But then maybe a year later, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was a good joke. And then I'll kind of remember it and revive it. So I have a weird process, I think. I don't think it's organized.
And you've been doing the same process since you started?
I mean, I don't know if you even call it a process because it's not quite a process. But I will say I think I was more disciplined when I started with my writing because I would like really sit down and write. And lately, I think I'm more like, if something comes, it comes. But if I try to force it, it's not usually good. And I try to write on stage more. I try to like come up with stuff in the moment.
Oh,
more.
you do?
Yeah.
Well, you do interact well with the audience.
Yeah, I try that. Sometimes I try to get material from that, but it's funny because people say I'm really good at that, but I don't love relying on it. You know, I like to have material that will work anywhere.
Right. And now, do you like to do the same ending of your 45 minutes? Do you like to do the same joke all the time, or do you mix that one up?
I mix that up too.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I'm in a really weird phase right now because I shot my special, where I'm trying to get a new hour, like especially for the album.
Okay.
I want a new hour, and I want to get rid of all the old jokes, but I still am depending on a couple here and there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I like I said, joke writing to me is so interesting. How you guys figure that out? Like, it's another world. Like, it really is. Like, I don't understand where you guys would start, where you would go. Like, it's just
I
crazy.
still don't get it either. I mean, it's a weird thing, you know, because you're always changing your style and changing what you see in the world and changing your life experiences, you know. So
Well, like you said, some jokes you did 10 years ago, you can't do now.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm sick of a lot of it, you know.
Right.
But,
You
yeah.
probably burned out of some of that
My
shit.
favorite jokes right now happen to be about my dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Those are what I feel like people respond to a lot.
Because they're from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that are personal I like doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
God damn it. So
It's been a very emotional podcast.
Dad.
You're like, I'm trying to make it funny, and this girl just kept going to dark places.
No, not at all. But we're gonna go back to this because that's truth. That's the cool thing right now, because that's where you are. That's where your art's at right now.
Yeah.
That's where your head's at right now.
It's true.
And that's how you're kind of dealing with your father.
Yeah.
And the best way to do it.
I
is
also
with jokes.
think you don't realize, like, I'm sure you felt this way too, because you're getting emotional, where you don't realize that grief takes a very long time.
Oh my
You know,
God.
like you kind of think, oh, it might be a year and then I'll get over it, but it's with you a very long time.
Very long
you know?
time.
And it comes in waves. So you'll think, oh, I'm doing okay, and then suddenly it's just like hits you again out of nowhere.
It does come in waves. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always make the reference that, like, even though I buried my dad in the ground, I haven't buried him in my mind. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, you don't ever, I
Like-
mean, one thing I think you learn is that a relationship, it doesn't end when they die.
Right.
You're still talking, like I still talk to my dad, and I still feel him with me in different ways, you know, so.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
you use them as you use, and the best part
On
is
stage,
and
yeah.
you said your dad was funny, so he
Oh,
probably
I know
loves it
he
even more.
would love it. Yeah, he would love it. He even said when he was dying, he's like, I hope you get some material out of this.
Did he really?
Yeah, he said that.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
good. That's actually really good. Because you know what? If you can't laugh at life, then what the fuck, right?
Oh, yeah. If you can't laugh at death, what the fuck? You know,
Exactly.
got to be able to laugh at all of it.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of, it's been a weird fucking couple years, and you said that you still did your thing. So during COVID, did you just kept going, or were you?
Yeah, I mean, I took a couple months off, like
Okay.
everybody, because everything shut down. I was supposed to have such a busy month, and then it just came to a screeching halt. And so I took a couple months off where I had no idea what was going to happen, and then gradually, you know, things kind of opened up in like that weird half capacity way.
Yeah.
And a lot of comics didn't want to work, so I was just still working.
You just grinded.
Yeah.
Did you get any stink noses at you? Did you get any fights?
Yeah,
Did you do little
I
fights?
think some people said things behind my back, and
Yeah. Fuck
that always
them.
comes back to you.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, and then it's like, what do they care? Like, I needed to pay my rent.
Yeah.
I always think if people want to criticize you, go ahead, but also do it with money, you know?
Wow. Wow. That should be on a t-shirt. That should be on a t-shirt.
It's like, give me, pay my rent if you have an issue.
Yeah, if you got an issue, then pay my rent.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's fucking hilarious, actually. That's good. Yeah, I know exactly. We all had to grind. I did the same thing too. I closed my place, opened it back up, and I actually
as a business owner, it must have been very hard.
I got super crazy. Do you want to hear this crazy thing? I got this guy named Dave Fortney out of Portnay. I fucked up his name.
Oh
sorry.
wait, I know that name.
Yeah, from Barstool. Fortney. Yeah, from Barstool.
Yeah, I think I know that name.
Yeah. So Dave was one. I qualified for one of the places for the Barstool. God damn, I always mess up the charity event. The Barstool, what they did is they donated money, like rich guys like
that's nice.
Aaron Rodgers or whatever. They donated money to save businesses.
Wow.
And it saved the hell out of my business.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Good for them.
I know, it was really cool.
That's really nice.
And that's where it comes down to. Like literally, there's so many good people out there. There's a bunch of assholes out there. Don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of assholes out there. But during COVID, a lot of good people stepped up and said they put their money where their mouth was.
That's so great.
And like you said the same thing. Like if you're gonna fucking bitch at me, then pay my bills.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really do love that. That's so smart.
Maybe that'll get me canceled. Maybe that was controversial.
There you go. Oh, if you want to go cancel, we just start talking politics.
Oh, yeah,
no, never.
I'm not even into politics. I'm just do my own thing.
How can you be?
I know.
Yeah.
Everything cancels itself out, you know? Like, I'm like, once you believe one thing, then someone says something, and you're like, no, I can't get behind that.
No.
Well, there's sirens. See, this is what happens when we talk about politics.
What the hell's going on out there? Jeez Louise.
It's the government.
They're coming after us because we're talking politics right away.
Yeah, they heard us.
Yeah, no, it's been definitely a journey, and I really love that you've been grinding out and just doing it. I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
I think it's really cool. Yeah, and so you keep doing your fucking blogs, okay?
Yes, I will.
All right, and I'm super duper excited to watch you do your stand up here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh my God, and you are awesome, and you taught me some shit, and you almost made me cry.
Aw.
So I love you. You're amazing. So
You're amazing.
we got to do this again.
Yes.
You hear me? 100%. We'll do this again,
Yes.
and we'll definitely get you back up on the stage again. And
Awesome.
I wish you the best in your endeavors.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Erica Rhodes, everyone. Erica Rhodes, and her album's coming out when?
I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm taping it June 15th to 18th.
June 15th to 18th, Acme, right?
At Acme.
Acme, excuse me.
Yeah.
Acme. So once again, Erica Rhodes, everyone, please follow her. Please blog her, whatever. Love her. She's awesome. And I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you,
is
dear.
fun.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And good coffee.
Thank you, Kristen. Good night, everyone. See ya. Be safe. All right.
Bye.
Are we cuts? Are we cutsies? Sure. Thank you. That was fun.
That was fun. Oh, thank you. No, you were great.
Thank you.